Hello, my name is Ugnius Savickas and we are meeting here again at Verslo Žinios and Verslo Tribuna podcast series. Hi Iveta.
Good morning.
Let me introduce. Iveta Bruvele is the founder and CEO of Wandoo Finance Group.
Correct.
Honestly, I have a pleasure to learning new name that I've never heard.
Could be.
Shall we explain a little bit to the audience? Who are you? What are you doing? When did you start? And what are you proposing to the market?
Okay, sure. Well, the company was founded in 2016. We have a headquarters here in the neighbors in Riga, Latvia. Mm-hmm. So we are a fintech company. Our main product is lending. So different kind of consumer lending products, depending on the market, depending on the market needs and demand. So at the moment we are operating in Poland, Spain, Romania, and in the beginning of this year we also launched Peru, so breakthrough to Latin America. Mm-hmm. And yes, and so far we are around almost 200 people in the group. Most part of them is in headquarters. Mm-hmm. There we have centralized the brain of the group. Mm-hmm. So main functions, finance, risk, everything that's basically crucially needed for the business. And in countries, we have call centers who are more or less are the ones who are directly working with the customers in those countries. Mm-hmm. At the moment, we have issued a bit more than 600 million in loans. Okay. And planning to expand.
Okay, nice. Iveta, we were just shortly chatting before this podcast that you started in 2016. So it's going to be 10 years. Going back to the very start, to the very beginning, mm-hmm. Why? I mean, why this business? How did that came up? And because you founded it, so it's what were the ideas and reasons?
Well, it's actually an interesting story because when I started to work in the finance field, I started in a bank. Mm-hmm. I spent there, I think, 3 years, a bit more, maybe 4. Moving from one department to another, growing there, and I very soon realized that the culture and corporative, all the formalities, and it's not my thing. Mm-hmm. So my next move was to fintech world, mm-hmm. And then more than 15 years, basically, I was working in the fintech companies, mostly connected with the lending. Mm-hmm. So I had the experience in the field. And when you work in one company, you of course you can analyze what would you do differently, or this works well, or I would do like completely other way around. Mm-hmm. So and I switched companies, several of them, and at one point I just left with no plans to the future. I wanted mm-hmm. to rest, and then one day I received a call from a person I never met, so saying that he have heard a lot of good things from me, about me, and he wants to go into the finance business, mm-hmm. and shall we think something? And basically after 3 months, I gave him a business plan, and he was the first investor who helped me start the business. Until now, actually, I don't know who, because someone suggested me to him. So there were 2 people. Mm-hmm. One I know, and the second one he is not confessing even now.
Wow, so. Interesting.
Yeah.
So you still don't know whom to thank or whom to say at least, gratitude.
Unfortunately, no.
Fantastic. So it's a little bit of an inspiration to, other people that sometimes, yes, you don't need to prepare, to start a change or to, like you said, to quit something that doesn't doesn't, I don't know, inspire, doesn't give, joy of work. So it's possibilities are quite everywhere.
For sure.
Okay. And that's interesting because in startup world, probably not sure if you still call yourself a startup or you already feel.
We try to keep the startup culture.
Okay, so keeping the startup culture.
Yeah.
But that's very obvious that usually people that work in corporations, they see the business model, they see the disadvantages, they see some inequality stuff, and then they go and create. So we have these examples. So what was that thing that you would say, I'm going to do it in a different way? Because when you said you had experience in these institutions, in these companies, there's something that you would feel like, okay, I can do it better.
So I think it's culture mostly, because in our field it's quite common that the companies are very competitive, so they are very pushy towards the employees, very stressful environment sometimes. So I didn't want that because I don't actually believe that when you stress the people out and you push too hard, they work better. I don't believe that and never did. Mm-hmm. So I think that was the biggest switch, culture, and it's something that I try to stick also until this day, because I think it works when you give people space to be on their own, to grow, to make mistakes, also live in a way that they do have a life-work balance. Okay. They are more motivated, they are more loyal, and it works better. So I think that was the biggest switch.
That's a bit of my field. I mean, I would love to elaborate a little bit more here. On one hand, when I hear financial institution that invests my money, for example, to hear that, guys, let's do mistakes. It's okay to do mistakes. I'm kidding, of course. But so how do you balance? How do you create that culture? Because at some point there's no that much of flexibility and there's no that much of improvisation, or something like that. But I completely agree with you. I absolutely agree that, it's not, we live in a little bit different world rather than, 80s when we had that suppression and, sort of a managing business, heavily managing business, but not leading the people. But how do you implement it in practice?
Well, I think the first thing I focus on is you have to find people more clever than you. Mm-hmm. So they are professionals. It shouldn't be you telling them what to do. So, and when you actually hire the best ones, those mistakes, of course they happen, but for that you can create some simple rules. They don't have to be heavy. They don't have to be formal. Just some structure which gives you the opportunity to see those mistakes coming. Mm-hmm. And also I do sometimes see that C-level managers are like hesitating to make some decision or vice versa. They are hurry up with that. And I see that, okay, that's going to be a mistake. And I always think, okay, how much will it cost? And then of course, I can interrupt and I can stop that and I can say, no, you do that. But I sometimes choose not to because one thing is when someone tells you what to do, and the second thing, they are reasonable enough to analyze it later to see where exactly they were wrong and make some conclusions. And I think it's worth doing that if the mistake is not too costly,
Absolutely, yes.
So yeah, but one more thing is probably you have to give them some freedom, and they have to be able to act on their own a lot, because that's where they feel the best, and that's where they make less mistakes, I think. Because when you create those borders and they are too strict or too formal, it works not in a good direction, at least in my opinion.
As you said, and I completely agree, it's a very competitive environment. I think it's a very competitive industry. And you have brilliant people by competences, by maturity, by awareness, about responsibilities and that freedom, etc., etc. How to secure that they are not headhunted? How to get that loyalty? I don't know. Do you experience that competitors are always around you and always watching you and always looking forward to grab your people?
Of course.
Okay.
I don't think that you can actually do something. Meaning the only thing you can do, you can create the environment and culture where they don't want to leave. Because we do have a lot of companies and people are moving from one company to another. And I am actually very proud that I have many key people working with me from day one.
Really?
Even
Nice.
I know they are being headhunted all the time. So, and you can't stop it. I actually recently had one case when a former colleague asked me if he can approach my employee because he wants to hire him, and I said, of course. I'm not promising that I'm not going to be fighting against you, but of course, because who am I to take away that opportunity? So
sounds different.
Different, I know. I hear that a lot because we have in our business also this. I don't know if it's probably also a culture that drives that, but in many companies you have that point in the agreement restricting you to work for competitors, and a lot of companies exercising that rule. We also have it in the agreement, but we have it only for the cases I can't even imagine now probably, but I don't know if some big deal happens and financial CFO is trying to go somewhere at that time, or like with some very, very sensitive information, then maybe I would consider that, but never in the 10 years of the company I use that point. So
fantastic. Because I believe that there are always couple dimensions in the business and in the competitiveness of business, and probably the culture is the most secure way to really have that authenticity, because you cannot copy culture without taking everyone on board, and still it will not be the same because management will be different, something will be different, even the the office will be different, and that's and that changes. So that is something that really can I would say help you stand out.
True.
But also when you say fintech, there is that tech part in this word, because people are but then of course there are technology things. Anything here, anything different, anything so that we should know, for example, that, okay, these guys do it differently. These guys do it, much, much way better, or,
Well, obviously better.
Okay.
We have quite a big IT development team, and all the systems are built in-house. So it's something that's also quite common for our industry. I think what we did, and I think we did it much sooner than others. I think it's 7 years ago or even 8 already. We started to use machine learning algorithms for scoring, not only scoring, but also for many connected to the risk things, like to predict the possible credit limit for the customer. We even tried to test it in different fields, like, for example, for sales. to find out which customer more likely we should call, for which we don't even bother, and he will anyway return. So we have used that technology quite extensive and quite a long time, and I think that we are developed it in a quite advanced level at the moment. So that's probably what's different comparing to others.
Building the whole IT system in-house sounds expensive.
It is. It's the most expensive thing.
Yes.
Well, actually, it was kind of practically in the beginning, we launched with the outsourced solution because it's cheaper and build our own system. It took time. It is expensive. And yes, we started with the outsourced solution. Started to generate some revenue, and at some point, when the system was ready, we migrated to it. But we also are going back now to the roots, even though we have our own system.
Okay.
We have this plan to launch a new market with an outsourced solution again, to avoid have the more and more resources in IT. So we choose again to start to generate some revenue and then starting to spend it. So
that's what I wanted to ask. When you have these multiple markets and quite sharply far away from each other, and probably culturally, does the technology part, the technology side? Well, of course, maybe I'm talking more about UX part, not the everything, the core, but does that change a lot? Or it's more like, plug and play, you just simply open the market, you have the whole core.
More like plug and play. You adjust the system or the product parameters.
Okay.
Specifically for the market, of course, you translate the website, but that's it. And it does not change as if it's Peru, if it's Poland, does not really matter. So, of course, language is different, but that's mainly it.
Is there any difference in, like customers' technological sort of
literacy.
Education or literacy?
Yeah.
I mean, and also I connect it with, how do you choose markets? Like from there to there.
Well, that's actually when we were searching the new market to launch, we were going through more than 30 countries all over the world. Since we are all our business is built online, we don't have to limit ourselves. Let's say we don't look at that continent or that continent. We don't do that. So all those 30 countries, they were like anywhere that you can imagine. So, and when we research, we start with some basic information like economical situation, macroeconomics, population, habits of using internet. Is it available at all? On what kind of devices customers are using? So, of course, legislation, licensing things, and one of the crucial things is the availability of the data. Because it is different from country to country, but in order for us to make a decision, do we grant a loan or not? Sorry, we have to have sufficient data about the customer. So that's also something that we are looking. And there are markets which, especially emerging markets, where there's a huge demand and huge proportion of underserved population, but you end up in a situation when you don't have enough data to even make any conclusions. And that stops you from going there. And then we come to the short list of 5 to 8 countries, sometimes more, sometimes less. And then you approach legal advisors in the country, find out all the details, and then that's basically how the decision comes.
Like there's no voting or playing darts and say, okay, that country.
No.
But what you mentioned, I'm just thinking through, it's there's a rule that higher profits are where higher risks are. I mean, it's underserved countries in terms of lending, loans, etc., might be those who have less accurate data, less accurate data about each person, and less integrations with systems that you could automate. And what's your appetite for risk, if I may say so? Are you the ones that rebel and going like, we need high profits, we go where fires are burning, and we know how to deal with these markets, or you play safe?
More like on the safe side, because good probably example is Peru. So comparing to any other European market, we all, let's say Lithuania, you have those loan products here for many, many years. You know how they work. You know the concept of credit bureau, right?
Yeah.
So if you don't pay a loan on time, they report you to the credit bureau. You have the bad record in the credit history.
Yes.
They are not familiar with that concept at all. So they by default are like considering when they're taking loan, they are not that responsible because they don't see the consequences. So it brings risk, much higher risk by default. Even if you want to go safe, that's something you count on because, and they will learn it through the mistakes because the availability of such products is so low that at the same time we are also educating them. Because they have no clue that if at some point they go somewhere else to take a loan, they will check the same credit bureau, for example. So definitely not worth to take even more risk because in countries like that, you already by default taking it. What else we try to do? We also try to balance it out, meaning that before we launched Peru, previous market was Romania. Very regulated, very understandable, very conservative, you can say. So Peru is riskier. And again, the next country will be more conservative for us, like more with a less risk for sure.
Okay, so it's like, portfolio balancing so that you don't go too much into...
Yeah.
Okay. Is it by plan? When do you open a new market? Or it's more like, okay, when we reach a certain penetration, when we reach a certain amount, then we look for new markets. So are you expanding like more sort of organic or aggressive? How would you define yourself? Well,
I think 5 years ago, we tried to open 2 markets at the same time. And I don't think it's a good idea because one of the market always will be suffering from the fact that you don't have enough resources to focus definitely on the 2 markets very carefully at the same time. So this is one thing I think is not too wise to do. No matter how much resources you have, it's still one country will be behind the other. So what we do now, we do open one market, then we try to have that moment when whether we are profitable on monthly basis or we reach break even. So we know that, everything works. Now we can move on.
Okay.
So usually that is the moment when we decide to search for the new market and choosing the next one.
It's my personal curiosity. How much time does it take to already see if it works?
Depends on the country.
Okay.
In Romania, it took us a very long time because the regulation is heavy. It's one of the heaviest I've seen. So there were a lot of formalities, even though you get the license, which was process as is. Then you wait for some audit to come from the regulator. Then you wait for some audit to come from, I don't remember, was it Social Security, Income Agency or something else? Don't want to lie. And the process after getting the license already took a year. So, and then you start issuing loans, and of course you don't start with the maximum speed. You have to learn the population, you have to look how your rules are working. So and altogether it was very long. But in Peru, for example, we launched in February this year. I think we are close to be profitable on monthly basis. So it's surprisingly fast. For a market with such high risk, you would expect it to be 2 years or even more to get there. So it looks like that next year will be the year, like the middle of the year, when we will be like completely sure that all good. And yeah.
So you already started shortlisting new markets for the next...
We already done that. And we have chosen one market, which will be the next. And we chose Lithuania.
Okay.
Yes. And now we have a plan to choose the second market, and we are looking in Latin America in the same region. And still making choice from 2 markets. So there we will come to the decision, I think, within a few weeks. But probably launching business there actually will go to the end of next year. So we have enough time to figure out how to work in Lithuania.
Okay. There are companies that say, neighboring countries are more like a home market rather than like, absolutely like external. But I hear like you put on the same table the Americas and neighboring country. So do you think Lithuania and Latvia are that different so that it must be treated as a separate market?
It is different.
Okay.
Even I think you could think, okay, Poland is near, right? But we still feel the difference of customer behavior, of demand of the products that we can offer. Even mentality, it's somewhat closed, but it's still not the same. And I think same goes also for Lithuania. We are close neighboring countries, but it's still, I can't say it's like us or it's always different. We'll see how. I don't have like specifics now, but we are expecting to see some difference.
This is where it gets even more interesting. When you were pitching to investors at the very beginning, or when you open a new market, of course, market is not empty. There are already some players.
Of course.
What is your message? Like, why you? Is there anything specific that you either focus on or you say, or what's, other words, what's your promise?
Promise, I don't think it's like really different from others. What we are actually trying to do, we try to make the way how customer can apply faster, easier, more understandable. And that can be some competitive advantage from the customer perspective. From like product as is, well, it's usually very similar from one to another.
Yes.
So we are focusing more like on the customer experience, on technology behind it to be able to do it faster, better, whatever it is. So yeah, that's probably it.
Because that's, that sort of value proposition is always something to, dive into and to understand what drives, the business and it interestingly, it could be different, even the same product, but different features or different aspects are important in different markets.
Of course.
So then it's also very difficult. So how do you, again, we just made a little bit detour and then getting back to people, how do you ensure, of course you said you are online business, so you're basically in one office, but still keeping the same, I don't know, let's say, the business ID, business identity or business image or business promise in, different countries with completely different cultures?
Well, I think first one comes again from a culture, meaning when we are hiring country manager for the country, I always look at people not only from the professional side, but if it's going to be a cultural fit, because those are like our ambassadors. If they are the ones who are in the countries and they are similar to us, it's going to be easier for them to broadcast that like feeling or purpose or idea behind what we do. So I think the cultural fit of new hires is one thing. We do have some corporate rules, you can say, not to lose the identity, for example, visually, so it would look like we look. But again, it's always depending on the country, because of course you will use marketing messages in Spain, completely different ones than you will use in Lithuania or Peru, for example. So, and here local people comes in, so they know the culture, they live in it, they know it better than us. So,
you also have local offices, or
yes,
like it's
in each country, sure.
Each country has local office. You said hiring, and that's absolutely, I agree with you. So that cultural fit. And do you have a magical, I don't know, test, or do you see through people when you hire? Because I hear plenty of situations when we thought it's going to be this and it turned out vice versa. And at the same time, if I may add another question that I always get from my clients, how to deal with a generation that is now maybe less loyal to the company as such. They look for, attractive projects. They look for adrenaline. They do careers over 6 months and they feel like they have done everything in this company and they move forward.
True.
Is it the same in your industry, in your business?
I would say it is. Well, when it comes to hiring, I have HR in the company for the last, I think, 3 or 4 months. So for 10 years, almost 10 years, we didn't have even HR or any HR person, whatever.
So who was hiring?
For the managers and key people, me, always me. And I'm really into psychology.
Okay.
So I can't tell you I see them through, but I do have some
sensation or feeling.
For sure. And I've hired so many people during my career that you can analyze things even in a few first minutes when you see a person. So, and I'm not saying I'm not making mistakes. I do. And I have ended up in the situations when, I thought it's going to work, but it didn't.
Okay.
And but I think it happens more rarely than it used to be. So, and now I have HR, finally. About the younger generation, I agree, but maybe what we can give them and what makes them interesting enough to stay longer is that we don't have those strict boundaries. If you come, one example, we had a guy who came as a B2B partnerships manager, and he started to work. He performed excellent, but he was all the time looking in the different projects, and that's what we allow to do. Our culture allows to do that. We don't put strict boundaries, and nobody will mind if you go to another department and you say, guys, I have an idea for you, and they're not going to be defensive. They're going to be open to that. So, and in the end, the person ended up leading our company in Spain and relocated there. So we have that as well. So if that can make you stay, because you know that you can grow within the company, you can switch wherever you want. Of course, not every month, but still. But if you see something interesting in other department, in other direction, then you have the possibility to move there, and they know it. They see the examples happening. So that could be one thing that could keep them longer. But I do agree, they are less loyal for sure. They are bored very fast. And And I don't understand them that well. So.
I wanted to ask, what is that, I don't know, the most powerful feeling of yours when you say that's it with him? Not anymore. Like, we need to fire. Like, what is that click that you would say done?
Well, I think that first of all, if you know that person is not performing well and you don't see any progress after giving feedback, it's the most expensive thing to do to keep them long. So what we try to do, we have a very open culture. We give feedback. We don't wait for, I don't know, one-on-one meetings once per year. No, it's not going to happen like that. So we are giving feedback straight away when it's needed. We agree on some things or changes that needs to be done. And then we coming back to that after quite short period of time to see if something changed. And for me, if I see the progress, then I will give those chances. And if I see that person is trying and it works, then I'm good with it. But if I don't see the progress, I don't see a point to keep him.
To continue and to keep.
Because also, like, from one hand, you are firing someone, but I have had many situations when the same person goes to another company and he's a star there because of maybe better cultural fit, better environment, better whatever it is. And what's the point? So it's like not only for us it's good, but usually it works good also for the people
for the both
when they
sides.
change something and find the right place. So
okay. Yeah, thanks for sharing. That gives a little bit of more sort of, more personal picture of who's coming to Lithuania and who's gonna come. Okay. Looking through your experience from the very beginning, from the call that you mentioned, with the current wisdom that you have today, what would you do differently?
Oh, everything.
Everything.
Well, not everything.
Yes.
I've learned a lot during these years. I've made a lot of mistakes. So many things have changed. And when I got that call and when I said that, I can do it, I had no idea how to do it. So basic thing and the only thing that is still there is culture, because those are my values. That's something that I will stick on and I don't want to change. Everything else we have tried, whatever practical things within business operations, changed a lot drastically. So the company, how it was in the beginning, it's not recognizable at the moment. So a lot. But that's what I think it's like fintech, the whole idea of fintech. You have to be willing to test things. You have to be willing to test them fast. You have to be willing to adapt, to be open to change. So the speed is enormous when you have to make those decisions. So yeah, I'm a completely different person. I think it's like day and night.
Okay. Because, when you say, yes, fintech, so usually, I imagine, well, maybe I'm spoiled or a little bit broken with my imagination, but it's like, in all these Hollywood movies, like, New York market works and, there's always people working like 16 to 18 hours a day, and tired and exhausted, etc., etc. And you look very calm and very sort of, balanced. So how do you sustain yourself in so much, proactive industry that is, I would call it even, sharp and quick and very technological, to still keep it very, very, very human with strict and strong values, with that culture that I hear and I feel it a little bit. So it's how
do I stay sane?
Yes.
Well, you have to do a lot for that. Me personally, I do winter swimming, I do sports, I do meditation. I have a coach, I have psychologist for years, so I have the possibility to ask for advice, to solve also business-like situation. I do care about my emotions because I can't be stressed out, and of course you have to do a lot. When it comes to overtime, it's something that I do not support. If I see people sitting in the office too late, I'm the first one who's going to come and say, go home. I don't believe in that. It's like not a long-term strategy for sure. Okay. And we also have some bonus for the employees. They can use the psychologist services and coaches as well.
Nice.
At least management and middle management in the company for now. Probably will expand that as well. Because I don't want to burn out people in the office, not knowing how to deal with their emotions and how to stay sane. So that's also a part of culture.
Yeah, that's fantastic. It's I love it. Shifting cultures from the previous very much mechanical business management to this, cultural sanity and balance and trust. I think that's the future. But there are so many companies that are so afraid of stepping into that new reality. Time runs very fast. My last question is, I was just while listening to you, I was reflecting that if you choose Lithuania as a market to enter, that's both. Customers would benefit. Some employers might consider a career. Competition increases, so it's very much healthy. What is your dream? A professional dream about this company, Wandoo Finance Group, for 10 years?
Okay, big word. Well, the dream is there, and I know it, and I can't put a timeline on it yet. But what I would like to, and where I would like to end up is probably in one of the emerging markets where financial services is not that available as we are used to have them, to be able to offer broad scope of financial services, probably under the banking license, most likely using our knowledge and advantage in knowing technologies, nothing old school or offline for sure now. So even more added value because we know finances, we know technology, and that's also a different level of complicating, like how complicated things are within a banking license, and how not to become too formal, and how to stay in between. So to me, it's a huge challenge, and I have this urge and feeling long time ago. It's like it's there. So it's going to be some exotic market for sure, nice. and somewhere where we can actually solve a lot of problems that can be solved by financial services.
Nice, very nice. It's honest and it feels deep.
Well, yeah.
Very last question, very final. What is Wandoo? How did you came up with this name?
When I started, you don't know in which countries you're going to be launching business. And you have to buy domains. And we were buying domains in 30 plus countries at that time.
Okay.
And if you want that brand name to be the same in all countries, you can't take existing word.
Sure.
Because it's going to be occupied somewhere. Yes. It's like, so we had to came up with a new word that doesn't exist. In the end, we found out that it does exist. I think it's some kind of 3 in New Zealand.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah, but we were playing around want to do and just put it in one word and bought a lot of domains. So that was the story.
Very nice. I'm a little bit into all these, branding and it's always interesting to also to know the story behind because it helps to understand. So
we had an agency to help us because we were quite struggling. It's not that easy.
Absolutely, yes.
Definitely.
Fantastic. Iveta, thank you very much for a warm, calm chat about tough industry. That is also, it is possible to have a chat. And of course, all the best with your new markets. And looking forward to hear about your own bank someday.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Iveta Bruvele was with us today, founder and CEO of Wandoo Finance Group. And thanks for staying with us this time. And let's meet in other podcasts.